Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's good to see you all. I've been enjoying getting to know the vinyl community, and today I'm going to start it with some shout outs. We have Cameron Zwywina. I've never heard you pronounce your name. I hope I'm saying it right. This gentleman has a lot of vinyl. Very knowledgeable person, very laid back. One of the first people to subscribe to my channel and to comment. I love you, brother. You're doing a great job. Keep posting. Then we have Danny Sensei Silver, otherwise known as Lou. Also one of the first people to subscribe to my channel. Once again, another laid-back gentleman with a lot of records and a lot of knowledge on vinyl. And then I want to give a shout out to Brett, the vinyl victim. Brother, you have a golden throat. All right, I love to hear you talk. You can just your knowledge of music is wonderful. You got a nice personality, it seems, and I just enjoy getting to know you. And I'd like to also give a shout out to Vinyl Victim's niece. This young lady has a lot of energy. She's got a great sense of humor. And if you're in a bad mood and you go to her channel, you will not be in a bad mood anymore. So this is just the beginning of the shout outs that I'm going to do. There are a lot of you with the VC who have been very nice and have presented some really good uploads with some of the music that you love. And I'm broke. I have no money because I'm making a list of all the stuff that you enjoy and I'm buying it. So keep up the good work. I love you all. I was sitting in my car having lunch the way I usually do, listening to music. And I was eating a Braunschweiger sandwich. And I don't know if any of you have ever had Braunschweiger. It's kind of a liverwurst type of thing, and it's not for everybody. I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's not important. But I was listening to the radio, and a song came on, and I took out the trusty marker and Sharpie, and I drew a picture of the artist that I was listening to. And there he is. I need not tell you who this is and what album this is. If I have to, that means that A, I suck as an artist, or B, you suck as a human being because you do not know about Paul McCartney. Sir Paul's music has just been something I've really have enjoyed most of my life. He writes music that's very happy and joyful, and I really love this guy. He came to Wichita, Kansas sometime back, and I didn't get a chance to see him. But I heard he performed 80 songs. I mean, who does that, right? So I just decided to draw this picture in honor of him. And today, I just grabbed a group of records that are kind of a mixed bag. But surprisingly, 3/4 of what you're going to see came out in 1974. I didn't plan it that way. That's just the way it turned out. So let's go ahead and get started. 1974, we have Nazareth's eponymous album. This is the first record. When I went and bought this at Spectrum Sound, Wichita, Kansas, my friend Les said, "Have you heard this Nazareth album?" I said, "No, this is the only Nazareth album I have not listened to." He said, "Side 1 is what you would expect to hear from this group, but Side 2 was totally different." And I agree with that. We started with the song Fat Man. And that is a real guttural kind of blues song, and it sounds completely different than what I would expect to hear. And then it's followed by Country Girl, which is kind of a really cool pop rock song. And then that's followed by Morning Dew, a very psychedelic type of sounding song. And then it ends up with King is Dead, which is a very lush song with a lot of violins or kind of an orchestra background. Dan McCaffrey, the lead singer, wrote all of those songs, and it kind of showed not only his versatility in songwriting, but the group's versatility in performing different types of music. And I really do enjoy an album by Nazareth. Check it out if you get a chance. And then from 1974, we have White Lion's Big Game. Love this record. This was the second album I've ever heard from White Lion. The first one I heard was Pride, and this one here we have the song Little Fighter, and they also do a cover of Radar Love. Now, do they do the song any justice? Absolutely. It's a really, really good record. And here we got the White House, maybe post-apocalyptic. And we have a line here who's looking like, give me somebody, right? And for 1979, I believe, this is Mitch Ryder. Some really good blues rock, excellent stuff. It's the kind of thing you would hear in a juke joint, maybe in South Chicago and Detroit, whatever, maybe in Memphis. I was not familiar with Mitch Ryder until recently when I bought this album, and it's just really, really good stuff. I believe 1987, if you like Henry Rollins, this album is pretty much like his Black Flag music, kind of in your face. And if you want to reach Henry Rollins, they have an address on the back, Post Office Box 2461, and that would be in Redondo Beach, California. Or you can reach him at Texas Hotel at 122 Broadway in Santa Monica. But I love this record, and I love Henry Rollins. He had his own TV show on the Independent Film Channel for a while, and he does a lot of spoken word stuff. He's an actor. He's been in a couple of movies. One of them was Wrong Turn Part 2, and the David Lynch film Lost Highway. What we have here is Robert Palmer's, why am I looking at the cover? I know the name of this album. This is Robert Palmer's Pressure Drop. Record store owners, do not categorize this album as pop or rock. This is soul music, okay? This is Sly and the Family Stone, Isley Brothers, Stevie Wonder's soul music. This is how I categorize him. There's another performer, Steve Winwood, another person with kind of a blue-eyed soul sound, very soulful voice. And I don't know what it is lately, but I've been showing a lot of records that have a booty on the cover. That's not my fault. That's how it was released. One thing interesting about this cover is I like the nostalgia of it. He's got a remote control that has a wire leading to the TV. And I remember back in the day, that's how you had a remote control. And then afterwards, we had remote controls, but they were like those big, gigantic, bulky ones that were always malfunctioning. But let's go back even before that. Before remote control, when I was growing up, you had to get up off the couch and change the channel by hand. You know? And then when the changer wore out, you had to use a pair of pliers. You know, before that, televisions were we had antennas in order to get the TV channels you want. So wherever you live, whatever 2 or 3 or 4 TV stations you had, sometimes you would get good reception. And if you didn't, you had to go outside and turn the antenna. And I remember as a kid, we would have designations. It's like, hey, it's your turn to turn the antenna. Okay, so get out. I don't care if there's a thunderstorm. Get out there and turn the antenna. And then we would sit in the house looking at the TV going, no, keep turning. Keep turning. And then we finally would say, okay, that's fine. Go ahead and get off the roof and let's finish watching Gilligan's Island. So I appreciate this cover for the nostalgia of it. But check it out if you like some great soul music. This is Robert Palmer's Pressure Drop. 1977. That was 1974, by the way, but this is 1977. We had the Runaways live in Japan. Love this group. I saw a documentary recently about them, and back when they were touring in the early days, they were sleeping in a car and eating at McDonald's 3 times a day. You know, that wasn't the best thing to happen to them, but these young ladies did not let them stop them from becoming what they were, a great group. And I used to get with my friends and play this game. Who's your favorite runaway? Is it Cherie? Is it Joan? Is it Sandy? Is it Lita? Or is it Jackie? I kind of like Jackie a little bit because she was cute and she played the bass. You see that? And these young ladies, 2 of them have really great solo careers. That would be Joan Jett and Lita Ford. And Cherie, who kind of idolized David Bowie, which is obvious in the way she dressed, actually got into chainsaw sculpting. So they believed in life after rock music, and I love the Runaways. I wish I could find more of their vinyl, but I do have a lot of their stuff on CD. From Denmark, we have this group here. Is this pronounced gasoline? Gasoline? But since they're from Denmark, maybe it's pronounced gasoline. But I love this group. The lead singer, Kim Larson, awesome vocalist. And I would categorize this as garage psych. Very good record. I've had this in my collection for 2 decades before I finally dug it up and said, oh, I haven't had a chance to listen to this, but I do highly recommend this album. 1974 gave us this Judas Priest album, Rock-a-Rolla. If you want my opinion, the 70s was the best era for the Judas Priest sound. I thought that was when they really sounded the best. By the way, Bob Halford, lead singer, was in a movie called Spun, which was starred Brittany Murphy, John Lewis, and whatever his name is, Jason Schwartzman, Mickey Rourke, and he plays an adult movie store clerk, and he does a fantastic job. And I wish that he had pursued acting a little more because he did such a good job. But hey, he's the heartbeat of Judas Priest, and this is a great record that I highly recommend. From 1974, we have Spooky Tooth's The Mirror. This is when their sound got a little heavier, and I enjoy this record very much. It's got a kind of a window cover, and I think what happened was somebody put some vinyl record in, and it snagged and tore the cover, which means that this particular copy is a collector's item. You're not going to find any other copy of Spooky Tooth's The Mirror with this scar on it. So I'm proud to own this. And then let's go back a little bit. 1973, we have Spooky Tooth Witness. This is kind of a little softer as far as rock goes. And the best song in this album is The World Keeps Turning. I listen to that song over and over and over again. Once again, Spooky Tooth, Gary Wright, lead singer and keyboardist. Now let's go back to my favorite Spooky Tooth album. This is 1969's Spooky 2. This is psychedelic music at its best. I really, really, really like this record. This was given to me as a gift, and I kind of sat on this for several years and then got around to listening to it. I think. I don't know what to think. I just went south there. Did you see that? My mind just went blank, and I don't know why. I was looking at the back of the record. But if you want to check out some good Spooky Tooth, I think one of the best songs is That Was Only Yesterday. I don't think it's on that album. 1974 gave us Fleetwood Mac's Heroes Are Hard to Find. If you look at Mick on the cover, he's very stripped down, literally. But in this particular record, the group is kind of stripped down a bit because we have John and Christy, of course, Mick, and Bob Welsh. And that was the quartet that made up Fleetwood Mac at this time. Bob Welsh's contribution to Fleetwood Mac is amazing. A brilliant singer, brilliant guitarist, and he had a great solo career. And I really enjoyed the Fleetwood Mac lineup when he was with them. And now the last album we have is Roxy Music. I think this might be the 4th album. This is Country Life. This particular cover was banned in the United States. When you got it originally, that's what it looked like. And you know, I don't blame them for banning that cover because let's talk about all the evils in the world. We got poverty, we got political complacency, hatred, war, and women in underwear. Those are the things that really make our world a bad place to live, right? Give me a break. I think this is pretty readily available now. There's a box set they released recently with this cover and other covers intact. And Brian Ferry is one of the greatest pop rock vocalists of all time. And I just noticed something. You see her underwear? It's pretty much the same underwear that Mick Fleetwood is wearing in this one. I just noticed that. And I guess in 1974, that was the flavor of the year as far as underwear goes. The stuff is falling down over here. Well, that should do it for our little trip down memory lane. I hope you enjoyed 1974 as much as I have. And do yourself a favor. Go to your underwear drawer and brush off your 1970 underwear. Put them on and stand in front of a tree. It will do you a lot of good. All right, well, that's it for now. Once again, I'm glad everybody took time out of their busy schedule to come spend time with me. And as I say before, and as I'll always say, I love each and every one of you. Thanks.